Hey y'all! So as you can see today I have some guests with me. The Blackwell pack wanted to be involved, so why not? For those of you who don't know, this is Leia, our littlest puppy who is about to turn 2. This is Kylo, who's just turned 3 last year. And this is Mama Bear Coda, who is 6 years old. And over here, who you can't see, is Khaleesi, who is Coda's age. So today I'm going to tell you the top 10 things not to say to somebody who has just lost a loved one or who is grieving or having a hard time. Now these are in no particular order, so what might be really horrible to hear for somebody might be not so bad for somebody else. But I've talked to a whole bunch of widows, widowers, grievers, people who have lost family, friends, and these are the top 10 things that we've all decided we don't want to hear when we are hurting. Number 10. Please stop trying to compare loss. There are 2 parts to this one. Part 1. If we lost the same person, we all miss their smile, we all miss their laugh, we all miss their personality, we all miss the way they lit up a room. But just because we lost the same person does not mean that you feel what I feel or that I feel what you feel. I didn't have the same relationship as you did with the person who passed away, so we do not feel the same thing. It is definitely okay to talk together about it and talk about the good times and the way things happen and reminisce on the day that they died and talk about all those memories and talk about how much you miss them. And this goes for everyone in any type of loss. If you have never lost a sibling, please don't tell somebody who has just lost their sibling, I know exactly how you feel because I lost my grandmother, or I lost my dog, or I lost my parent. It's just not the same thing. Yes, we've lost the same person. Just please don't say that you know how I feel, or that you're feeling the same type of pain, because it's not. Part 2. Please understand that if you have lost a sibling and you try to relate to someone else who has lost a sibling, you're still going to have different feelings. And that's okay. My relationship with my husband is one of a kind, just like every other married couple out there. I know the pain of losing a husband, but I don't know how it feels to have been married to that person for 90% of my life and then lose them. So on that level, I can't relate to an older widow who might have had kids and a whole entire family before their loved one passed away. Whereas if you lost a sibling and your friend lost a sibling, sure, you can talk about your shared losses and you understand what each other feels like in most cases, but each loss is still going to be unique and completely different. So please just remember to try not to compare those things. Number 9, please stop asking us how they died or what happened or what the accident was about. I promise you, if you are close enough to the deceased, whether it's a friend or a family member or a coworker, you are going to find out what happened in due time. If you don't find out what happened through organic means, chances are it's none of your business. So for all of you people that come out of the woodworks that we haven't talked to since high school, please do not come in our messenger and ask us what happened. We don't want to relive it over and over again for people who aren't even there in our daily lives. Number 8. You're so strong. I couldn't do what you do. Do you think that we had a choice? Do you think that we actually trained for this to happen? We did not practice for the day that we become a widow or that our brother dies or that our parent dies too young. We survive. We do what we have to do, and it's different for everybody. I couldn't move on if I were you. I couldn't date. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. You really don't know what you would do until you're in our shoes. And you will be one day. So those of us who are spiritual or religious understand that our loved one is in heaven. Those of us who are atheist or agnostic understand that there might not be a heaven, but that our loved one's in a better place. There are many people who don't believe in heaven or any kind of afterlife, but the universal idea is that no matter what you believe, we all know that our loved one is in peace now. We understand that they're in a better place, but sometimes we need them here with us. I definitely appreciate having my dad as a guardian angel, but I really could have used him when my husband died. Number 6. For the love of all that is holy, please do not say, You're so lucky. I wish mine were dead. Do you realize how insensitive that is? I don't care if you're talking about your husband, your ex-husband, your brother, your sister, your estranged aunt, uncle, your mean grandparent, whatever it is. You do not tell somebody who has just lost a loved one that they are lucky and that you wish yours had died instead. That is not comforting at all. Because personally, I wouldn't wish my worst enemy dead. Number 5. If I were you, I would do yoga, I would go to therapy, I would take medication, I would blah 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 blah. Again, you don't know how you're gonna react to death until it happens to you. If you react one way to your parent dying, you might react a complete different way to your sibling dying. And then you might react a complete different way when your spouse dies. The truth is, you don't know what you would do. Everybody likes to think they know how they're gonna react until it happens to them, and then you finally realize how stupid it is to judge from the outside looking in, especially when you've never experienced that kind of loss or pain. So please don't tell us how to grieve, because we would never do that to you. Number 4. Many of us have had people come up to us and say, they're gone forever, they're dead, they're never coming back, oh my god, they're dead, dead, dead. They're gone, they're dead, they're never coming back, they're in the ground now. It's gonna hurt, it's gonna be painful, these next few weeks are gonna suck. Listen, we know that. We don't need it being repeated over and over and over again. We are living it, we are seeing it, we are breathing it. It is keeping us awake at night. It is aching in every part of our bones. Please stop repeating the obvious in a time like this. We don't need to hear it. If you need to freak out, take it somewhere else. Number 3, nobody gets to decide who hurts the worst. It is not a competition. Yes, there are different types of loss. Yes, there are different levels to grief. But those of us who have experienced an instant death where we did not have time to say goodbye, we did not have it any worse than the person who had to watch their loved one die over a span of time, where they did have the chance to say goodbye over and over and over again, but they had to watch their person suffer like that. Both experiences are incredibly painful, and they both take a lot of toll on the families involved. So please don't ask somebody who has lost a loved one, do you think yours hurts worse than theirs? Or do you think theirs hurts worse than yours? Because it's just not right. We all hurt. It is not a competition. Number 2, just be positive. Think about the future. Time heals everything. Time does not heal, we just learn to deal with it. Thinking about the positive things that will happen in the future does not take away the pain that we are feeling right now. And being positive does not change the very negative situation that we are experiencing right now. So please stop telling us these worthless platitudes and instead just be there for us. Let us cry on your shoulder. Let us feel everything that we need to feel. And yes, it's going to be awkward while you sit there while your best friend is crying over her brother who's just died, or her husband who's just died, or her dog who's just died. But be a friend and just be there. If you feel like you need to say something like, just be positive, don't say anything. Just hug them. Just be there. Number 1, please never tell somebody to get over it. Anybody who has ever lost a loved one is never ever going to get over it. We will live for our person who is no longer here. We will honor them and we will move forward, but we will never get over it. So those are my top 10 things not to say to a grieving person or somebody who has just lost a loved one. But in addition to those things, talk about them. Don't think that you're hurting us or bringing up painful memories by talking about them. We want to talk about them. If we could do it all the time, that's what we would do. We love them. We want to honor them. We want people to remember them. We want them to live on. So talk about them. So I hope you guys got a little bit of information out of this video. Please stick around for my next one, which will talk about 5 things that every widow wants to tell you but will never actually say out loud. I will see you guys soon.